Every spring, thousands of homeowners walk outside, grab that garden hose, twist the faucet on, and have no idea that a cracked pipe behind their wall is about to turn their basement into a swimming pool. It happens more often than you think, and after 3 decades of fixing exactly this kind of disaster, I can tell you most of these floods are completely preventable. Today, I am walking you through 7 critical steps to safely turn on your outdoor faucet this spring. Step 5 is the one that saves the most homes. And stick around for the bonus tip at the end because it is a trick most people have never even heard of. The first step, and honestly the most important foundation for everything else in this video, is to understand how frost-free silcocks actually fail. Now, if your home was built or updated in the last 30 or 40 years, there's a very good chance your outdoor faucet is what we call a frost-free silcock. Sometimes people call it a freeze-proof faucet or an anti-siphon hose bib. They all work on the same basic principle. The handle and the spout are on the outside of your house, but the actual valve, the part where the water shuts off, sits 8 to 12 inches back inside the wall where it is warmer. When you turn the handle off, water stops flowing way back inside, and the remaining water in the tube is supposed to drain forward and out through the spout. That is how it protects itself from freezing. The key word there is supposed to, because if anything prevents that leftover water from draining out, that trapped water sits in the tube all winter long. When temperatures drop below freezing, that water expands, and the brass or copper body of the silcock cracks. Here is the scary part. You will not know it cracked. The faucet looks perfectly fine from the outside. There's no water spraying anywhere because the supply is off. Everything looks normal. Then spring comes, you turn the water back on, pressure hits that crack, and suddenly water is pouring into your wall cavity, your basement, your crawl space, or your ceiling if the faucet is on an upper level. I have seen homeowners cause $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 in damage just by turning on a faucet on a sunny Saturday morning. So understanding this mechanism is the first step to protecting your home. The second step is to check if you left a hose connected over winter. This is the #1 cause of frost-free silcock failure in every part of the country, and I cannot stress it enough. When you leave a garden hose screwed onto the spout, even if the faucet is turned off, that hose traps water inside the tube. The water cannot drain forward and out like it is designed to because the hose is blocking the exit. That trapped water freezes, expands, and cracks the body of the silcock. It does not matter if you have the most expensive frost-free faucet on the market. It does not matter if you bought the one that says freeze-proof right on the box. If a hose is attached, the freeze protection does not work. Period. So right now, before you even think about turning on water, walk around your entire house and look at every outdoor faucet. If there is a hose still connected from last fall, unscrew it. If the hose fitting is stuck or corroded, use a pair of channel lock pliers with a rag around the fitting to protect the threads and gently work it loose. Once the hose is off, check if water dribbles out of the spout. If it does, that is actually a good sign, because it means the tube can drain. If nothing comes out and you know the water has been off all winter, that could go either way. So keep following the remaining steps. The third step is to inspect the outdoor faucet for visible damage before you turn anything on. Get down close to the faucet and really look at it. You are checking for a few specific things. First, look at the body of the silcock itself, the metal tube and housing that goes through the wall. Do you see any cracks, splits, or bulges in the metal? Sometimes a freeze crack is obvious, a visible split running along the brass or copper body. Other times it is subtle, just a hairline fracture you can barely see. Second, check where the silcock passes through the exterior wall. Is there any staining, discoloration, or mineral buildup around that penetration point? White or green crusty deposits can mean water has been seeping out. Third, look at the handle. Turn it gently. Does it feel normal, or does it spin freely without any resistance? A handle that turns too easily might mean internal parts have broken. Fourth, check the vacuum breaker, that little cap on top of the faucet near the handle. If it is cracked or missing, that is not directly related to flooding, but it tells you the faucet has seen some wear and might need attention. If you spot any cracks, splits, or obvious damage, do not turn the water on. Skip ahead to step 7 where I cover replacement. If everything looks okay visually, move on to the next step. But stay cautious because plenty of cracks hide where you cannot see them. By the way, if you are finding this advice helpful, you should know it is just a small sample of what I have put into my new guide, the Ultimate Plumbing Playbook. It is packed with step-by-step instructions for hundreds of repairs that can save you thousands. To grab your copy, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let us continue. The fourth step in this process is to open the faucet before turning on the supply. And this is where the correct sequence really matters. Most people do it backwards. They go to the shutoff valve inside the house, open it up, and then walk outside to open the faucet. That is the wrong order. When you pressurize the line first with the faucet closed, you are sending full water pressure straight to that silcock body. If there's a crack, water immediately starts pouring into your wall, and you are not even outside to see what is happening. The correct sequence is simple. First, go outside and open the faucet handle all the way. Just turn it to the full-on position. Nothing will come out because the supply is still off inside. Now go inside and find the shutoff valve that feeds that outdoor faucet. In most homes, this is a ball valve or gate valve on a pipe in the basement, crawl space, or utility room, usually on the wall closest to where the outdoor faucet is located. It might be labeled, but often it is not, so trace the pipe if you need to. With the outdoor faucet already open, slowly turn on the indoor shutoff valve. The key word is slowly. Do not crank it all the way open at once. Open it about a quarter turn and pause. You want water to begin flowing gently so that if there is a problem, you catch it before full pressure makes it worse. Wait about 15 to 30 seconds and listen. Then gradually open it the rest of the way. This simple change in sequence, opening the faucet first and the supply valve second, gives you time to react and dramatically reduces the chance of a hidden flood. The fifth step is the one I mentioned in the beginning, and it is the step that saves the most homes every single spring. Have someone watch inside while you turn on the water. This is your safety net. Even if you followed every step so far, a crack can be hiding in the section of pipe that runs through the wall, behind the siding, or through the rim joist area. You simply cannot see it from outside. So here's what you do. Grab your spouse, your neighbor, your kid, anyone who can stand inside near where that pipe runs, and watch for trouble. Position them in the basement, crawl space, or the room closest to that faucet. Give them a flashlight and a phone. Tell them exactly what to look for. Any dripping, spraying, or water appearing on the wall, ceiling, floor, or pipe. Then go outside and follow the sequence from step 4. Open the faucet first, then have your helper slowly open the supply valve inside while they are right there, watching. If they see even a single drop of water where it should not be, shut that valve off immediately. Do not wait to see if it gets worse. One drop means there is a crack, and full pressure will turn that drop into a stream fast. If you live alone and do not have anyone to help, you can still do this. Open the faucet outside, Then go inside. Open the supply valve slowly and immediately check the area around the pipe. Then go back outside and confirm water is flowing normally from the spout. Come back inside and check once more. It is not as ideal as having a second set of eyes, but it works if you are thorough and move quickly. The sixth step that every homeowner should know is to recognize the warning signs of a hidden leak. Not every cracked sillcock produces a dramatic flood. In fact, many of them produce slow, sneaky leaks that you might not notice for days or even weeks. And honestly, those slow leaks can sometimes cause even more damage than the dramatic ones because mold starts growing behind the wall. Wood framing begins to rot, and by the time you notice something is wrong, the repair bill has multiplied. So in the days and weeks after you turn on your outdoor faucet for the season, keep your eyes open for these signs. First, a musty or earthy smell near the wall where the faucet pipe runs through. Mold can start growing within 48 to 72 hours of moisture exposure, and you will often smell it before you see it. Second, soft spots or bubbling paint or wallpaper on the interior wall closest to the outdoor faucet. If drywall gets wet, it softens and starts to deform. Third, unexplained damp spots on the floor near the base of that wall. Fourth, a higher than normal water bill. If your bill jumps and you cannot explain it, a slow leak through a cracked sillcock could be the culprit. Fifth, listen for the sound of running water when nothing in the house is on. Go to the quietest spot near that wall and just listen. Sometimes you can hear a faint hiss or trickle. If you notice any of these signs, shut off the supply valve to that outdoor faucet immediately and investigate further. Pull back any insulation around the pipe if you can access it from the basement or crawl space and look for moisture, dripping, or green and white mineral stains on the copper or brass. The seventh and final step is knowing how to replace a damaged frost-free sillcock. If you discovered a crack during your inspection, or if water started leaking when you tested the line, the sillcock needs to come out. Now, I want to be honest with you. This repair ranges from straightforward to moderately challenging, depending on how your home is built and how the pipe connects. Let me walk you through the basics so you can decide if this is a project you want to tackle or one you would rather hand to a professional. First, make sure the water supply to that faucet is completely off and the line is drained. Then from the outside, you will typically see the sillcock secured to the wall with 2 screws on a mounting flange. Remove those screws. From inside, you need to disconnect the sillcock from the supply pipe. If it is a threaded connection, you will use 2 wrenches, one to hold the supply pipe steady and one to unscrew the sillcock. If it is a soldered, or I should say soldered connection, you will need to cut the pipe with a tube cutter. Once the old sillcock is out, measure its length carefully. Frost-free sillcocks come in different lengths, typically 6 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches, and 12 inches, to match different wall thicknesses. You need to get the same length, or you will have problems. When you buy the replacement, I recommend spending a few extra dollars for a quality brass body model. Brands like Woodford, Prier, and Arrowhead make excellent frost-free sillcocks that last for decades. Install the new one by sliding it through the wall from outside, connecting it to the supply pipe inside using either a threaded fitting or a push-fit connector like SharkBite if you want to avoid soldering. Secure the mounting flange, turn the water back on using the same slow sequence from step 4, and test thoroughly. If at any point during this process you feel uncertain, especially about the connection inside the wall, there is absolutely no shame in calling a licensed plumber. A professional sillcock replacement typically costs between $150 and $350, which is a tiny fraction of what a flood repair would cost. And now for the bonus tip that professional plumbers swear by. If you want to add an extra layer of protection against this exact scenario, install an interior shutoff valve with a drain port if you do not already have one. Most newer homes have one, but many older homes do not. It is a simple ball valve with a small bleeder cap on the side, and it gets installed on the supply pipe inside your home, a few inches from where the sillcock passes through the wall. Every fall, you close this valve, then open the outdoor faucet and open that little bleeder cap. This drains every last drop of water from the sillcock and the short section of pipe between the valve and the wall. There is nothing left to freeze, nothing left to crack. Come spring, you close the bleeder, close the outdoor faucet, and slowly open the indoor valve. It takes about 30 seconds each season, and it virtually eliminates any chance of a freeze-related sillcock failure. Plumbers install these on every new construction job for a reason. The valve and fittings cost less than $15 at any hardware store, and installing one could save you thousands down the road. Before you go, I want to make sure you know about my complete guide, the Ultimate Plumbing Playbook. It goes way deeper than we can in a single video, with 85 pages covering everything from clearing any clog to replacing your own water heater. If you want to stop wasting money on simple fixes, this book is for you. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to get your copy. Thanks for watching. And if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do not miss the next one.